Today we're doing quadratic regression. So quadratic regression is mainly on the calculator, and we do have these set of instructions. You also have these on a sheet of blue cardstock that you are welcome to use. It's the same thing. So we're just going to start with step 1, reset the calculator. Second plus 7, 1, 2. That's going to reset my calculator. From there, it wants me to enter the data, stat 1, and then enter your x values in L1 and your y values in L2. So if we go to our first table right here, we have our years, which is our x values, our number in thousands, which is our y values. For this, the table below lists the number of Americans in thousands expected to be over 100 years old for the selected years. Use the data given in the table to find the quadratic regression equation. So we need the equation for a quadratic regression. We're going to state the equation and then find how many Americans will be over 100 years old in the year 2008. So we have two parts to this, the equation and then how many Americans will be over 100 years old in 2008. So we go to our second step, stat 1. Our L1 is our x values, so we fill those in. Okay, I missed one right there, so I'm going to go back and fix that. Go over. Okay, from there, we're going to turn on our stat plot. So we're going to hit the second button. We're going to hit y equals the number 1, and then hit enter. Notice on is now highlighted. That's what I want. From there, we're going to zoom 9. It's going to show me this. Normally, it would say determine if it's exponential, quadratic, or linear, but notice our problem right here says it is quadratic, so we know it is this one. So it's option 5. So here, stat, we're going to scroll over to calc at the top, and it says 0 or 4 or 5. We already decided quadratic was 5, so hit option number 5. From there, we're going to scroll down to store reg EQ, hit alpha, trace, enter, enter, enter. From there, it's going to give me my equation. I need to write it down. We're going to round to 2 decimal places. So my equation would be y equals 0.40 x squared minus 1,600.28 x plus 1593498.2. So there's our equation. From here, we're going to look at our graph just to make sure it looks right. And notice it's following it really nicely. So now I need to know how many Americans will be over 100 years old in the year 2008. So I'm going to go to the table by hitting second graph. And now I need the year 2008. So a quick way to get there is actually going to be hit second window, and it says table start. So under table start, if you hit 2008 and then go back to your table, it's going to take me straight to 2008. So this is 157.37, and notice it's in thousands, so 1,000 adults. All right. Next problem, we're going to start over, clear our calculator. Second plus 7, 1, 2. Notice on this one says state the equation and find the concentration after 4 hours have passed. And once again, it tells me it is a quadratic function. So that'll be this number 5. So we're going to hit stat 1. We're going to fill in our x values, which is our time, and our y values, concentration. Our y values. Okay, from here we're going to turn on our stat plots. Second, y equals 1, enter. After that, we're going to zoom 9. We'll see that it does make that parabola shape for a quadratic. After that, we're going to go to stat, scroll over to calc. Option 5, scroll down to store reg EQ, alpha, trace, enter, enter, enter. And write down our equation. So y equals negative 56.21 x squared plus 139.31 x plus 9.35. So that's our equation. Hit graph just to make sure it follows it pretty well. It's a little off, but this is just a guess estimation, so it is pretty close. It is following the same shape. From there, we're going to want to go to 4 hours. So go to our table, and we want to find 4 hours. After 4 hours, we should have negative 332.8 milligrams per liter. All right. And all the problems will do this. You're basically just following instructions.